Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are out here fishing on one of my favorite creeks. Probably going to be like the last time I'll end up fishing it though. I got down to the stream there, took a stream temp, and it's right around 65. I imagine as I go upstream though, it'll cool off a little bit, but not a ton. So we're going to see what we can get in here today, and I'm just going to make the intro here short, and let's go ahead and get into the fishing. Leave a like at the end of the video if you like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment for future suggestions for future videos, and let me know what you thought of this video. Let's go ahead and get into the fishing. Ah, popped off. That was the first fish hooked into this morning. Sitting right over in that boulder seam. There's another one rising over there. That's a nice healthy brown, probably like 16 inches. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but the top of his mouth, he wants to go, so I'm gonna let him go. But you guys can see that the top of his mouth was really red. I believe they say that's when they're eating crawfish, so that's interesting. It's like the first brown I've ever seen with a super red like roof to his mouth. But I got here, took a temp when I got here. It's right around 65. Probably only gonna fish till a little bit before noon and then head out, but this will probably be one of, or if not the last time that I fish this river this spring season until fall, because like I said, it's already up to 65 and it's just been a brutal spring with like flows. So I think it's just going to be a little too warm after, you know, another week or so. That first fish that I hooked, I wasn't sure what that one was on, but the fish that we caught, that was on the point fly, the size 14 pheasant tail. Right now I'm about standing in the midpoint of the river, so I think we're gonna get into some fish over here just because they're pushed to that far bank. Oh, tiny brown popped off. That's all right. He's just probably like 6 inches. Another small one. I believe he was on the point, the pheasant tail. This seems like a good size. You have a pretty good fight. It's a good sized fish though, probably about the same size as the last one. And he's on the pheasant tail also. Nice chunky fish, probably 17 again, 16. All right, guys, big fish, big fish. All right, we got him. Tell you what, he's probably about the same size as those other ones, maybe in length. But this is a girthy fish. That is a nice fish, probably at least 17, probably 18, and just a super fat one. I had a feeling there was a good sized fish over there. Wasn't really prepared to fight it though, but lucky to just landed it, because lately I've been having a tough time this spring landing bigger fish that I hook into. But we got my I'm using my Shadow X again. I got that back from warranty, and I'll tell you what, after using my Shadow 2s for a while again and then switching back to this rod is just, it's a lot better. Still love my Shadow 2s, but I mean, this thing just got super sensitivity. I'm honestly not even sure if I would have felt some of those takes with my Shadow 2 rods. Here's a smaller fish, probably about 12 inches, maybe 10. Maybe like 8. Pretty small actually. I think he was using that current to his advantage. There he is. So normally this section is a little too high for me to be where I am right now. And actually even when it was higher before, I don't even know, I probably could have waited out here, but it was hard to see the bottom. So now I know that this is pretty uniformly shallow throughout here. So I might wait out here more often. I've never fished it from this side. I usually fish it from that bank, fishing out into this. So I'm curious to see if maybe there's some fish that hold over on that bank side that I just wasn't getting into before because I'm spooking them over there. But this right here, this is all a nice deep, like soft section. Perfect spot for a fish to lay. And there's a good fish. It's not as big as the other ones, but probably about 14. Let's get you out of there. I don't want you spooking anything else. Use that current to bring him right down to me. Again on the pheasant tail. We haven't gotten anything on the Baetis yet. And it seems like there's some caddis starting to pop off. It's a nice fish. That's probably like actually 15. Yeah, these fish, I mean, there's bugs pouring off at this point. Lots of midges, but there's some caddis and mayflies mixed in there. But these fish are probably going nuts down there feeding. Yeah, this time of year though, I start to usually just do like half days, because you can start really early. And then once 11 o'clock rolls around, it starts to get pretty hot and miserable anyway. And then by the time the fish start turning back on, that was a fish, in the evening, it's too long to wait out unless you were like camping or something. You can go back to your tent. I'm not gonna wait around in my car for 6 hours. Looks to be like another 12-incher. Tell you what, you got my tag in a mess. There he is. I gotta fix my tag real quick. All right, we got our tag situated. Tell you what, I'm either hitting a ton of rocks or a bunch of fish here. Really feels like fish. One thing that's a little weird too though is, I mean, it's helping, but is the water's a pretty average flow. It's kind of like on the lower side, I would say, but it's got like a little tint to it. I believe maybe they got a little bit of rain overnight here, not anything to like increase the flow, but it looks like it may have, you know, just tinted the water a bit. Little fish right there. On the pheasant tail again. Little 12-incher again. Another little smaller fish. Looks to be like 8 inches. Tell you what, for 8-inch fish, he feels like he's like, oh, just popped off, but he felt like a 15-incher. Ah! I put way too much pressure on him. I was causing him to do flips and stuff because I was trying to keep him out of over there so he doesn't spook anything. Another like 12-incher. I'll try to get him up here, but if he pops off, I'm not going to be too worried about it. And there he is. It's a good looking fish, probably about 15-14 inches on the pheasant tail again. Got a nice little scar on his back there. Holy cow. I don't know, actually, now that I pick him up, he's probably a nice 17-inch fish. And then after we finish up this riffle section, I'm gonna get out and walk up to the next one. Got ourselves a fish here. Looks like probably just a 12-incher. It's actually a little stocky, stock brookie on the tag, which I switched out the tag to the olive paragon with the orange hotspot collar. So that picked up a fish. And then on the point, I'm still running the pheasant tail size 14. There's that brookie. So I walked up probably about a half mile, and I can actually tell it's the water up here is significantly cooler than it was down there. I'd say it's, I mean, it was 65 down there. I would say it's probably actually about 60 up here. And like I said, I haven't really even walked that far. I think this is a pretty good fish. I believe it is. It's the best fish of today, I think. So he came right out from that riffle right where I'm fishing right now. I'm thinking a lot of these fish, I mean, obviously it's spring, so they're gonna be pushed up into these riffles eating, but I think a lot of these fish are starting to move upstream more, trying to find some cooler water. Because like I said, even just a half mile downstream, there's sort of like a slow pool area, about half mile long, quarter mile long probably. And I think that sun just bakes that water and heats it up pretty good. So a lot of these fish are just starting to move up to get out of that. Little brownie. So last time I was here, I actually didn't end up making a video of it, but I had to fish it from that side, and then I crossed up above and came down and fished this. But last time I was here, I caught one way over on that far side, right along the bank. I might try to get a few casts in over there, see if we can get that one again. All right, got ourselves another fish here. Looks to be about 12 inches. There he is. All right guys, that is going to wrap it up for this video. All in all, not a bad morning. It went pretty quick just because we're kind of getting into the summer hours where you kind of got to get out here at the break of dawn, and then you get to fish till about 10 or 11, and the fishing kind of shuts off. But we got into some nice fish, so I'm happy with that. Probably caught around 15 fish, maybe 20, including all the small ones. But yeah, not a bad day, and we're gonna wrap it up here. So don't forget to leave a like below and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video, and for any suggestions for future videos. And until next time, peace.